Hi there. So I got the request to expand a little bit more in my last video about what I talking about inner masculine and inner feminine and how does it relate to our relationships and what kind of people, men or women, we attract in our lives. So let's start from the beginning. So we all have an inner masculine and inner feminine. And so our inner masculine are usually represented on the right side of the body, and our inner feminine is our left side of the body. And an energetic level, our masculine side is that force of being decisive and logic, and the mind, and the action, and persevering. And the feminine side is emotion, the sensitivity, the intuition, the artsy part of us, musical, you know. So then, therefore, either you are man or woman in your physical body, we have both within ourselves, right? So let's say that answering the question that I had from a person in my previous video, he said, I don't trust women, so that does mean it's my fault. So what does it mean, women? We're talking about here the feminine aspect of you. We're talking about men. Your feminine aspect of you is how Jung call it the anima, which is that sensitive, emotional part of you. And not trusting that part of you, your intuition, your emotions. And I can totally relate to that because I was raised in a place and in a culture where I became a doctor and later on a dominatrix, where my masculine side was overemphasized, the doer, taking action, turning off emotion. Emotions was seen as weakness, as not something to be trusted. You can only trust logic. That's what I was told, and with my family and medical school and all of that. So I myself shut down my emotional side and became over logical, and it has been a while for me to reconnect with the emotional part of me, with my intuition and my gut. So to answer your question, so you are not trusting women, is it your fault? No, first of all, is that awareness that as within, so without. So that means that we are attracting people from the opposite gender, that is, you're reflecting that aspect in ourselves. So if you are not trusting women, meaning you're not trusting that emotional side of you, then my question is, how do you feel about expressing emotion? How do you feel about trusting your intuition? And I have a side note here. In my work as a dominatrix, what I discover is that many men that were in overly masculinized jobs, being that military, surgeons, lawyers, they were in a very rigid atmosphere where they have to be always in control and show show dominance or show power, which maybe it's not true, but that's how they felt. They felt that, especially in the military, where you cannot show emotions, of that is weakness. So these men were actually coming to me anonymously as a way for them to express their feminine side, as a way to find balance. So they wanted to experience themselves as passive, as submissives, and in some cases, they even desire to use feminine clothes, and that has nothing to do with sexual inclination. It had nothing to do with um, being gay. It just was an expression of wanting to be feminine. And what I noticed is that it had to happen that way, because you cannot be in that extreme polarized extreme of being overly masculine without coming and finding a balance. So that's the way for them to find a balance where you can have an equal balance and union of your feminine and your masculine energies. So that's my intake. I hope that makes more sense. I hope that I'm delivering my message in a clear way. And I just want to make a last note about this, and is that being a balanced whole individual was being to integrate both aspects, your masculine side and your feminine side within, and balancing your action with your resting, balancing your mind with your emotions, and loving and embracing both parts of that self, which is, and what I wanted to say is that for men that feel like you cannot trust women, what part within yourself, of your feminine self, you're not trusting and embracing and loving? And for women, what part of you that feels that men are to blame? What part of that is a mirror to you that you're not embracing in your own self? Yes, so that is my question. Feel free to leave any questions. And I am offering actually 15-minute free introductory call to this beautiful balance, what is called Hieros, Gamos, which is sacred marriage, which is just bringing that union within so you can actually manifest that in the outside. Manifest that balanced relationship that you have within, so without. That is a spiritual law. You can only manifest what is within, and you will only see reflected what is within. So nothing that is outside of you is actually outside. They're just projection of your own inner being, you know? Like Carl Jung said, everything that you have in your unconscious is creating your reality. And unless you bring it to the conscious, you will call it fate. F-A-T-E, faith. Fate. Right. So I hope you're having an amazing day, and I look forward to hearing from you. Bye now.